Headlines: Terrorists invade Kaduna community, kill pastor's son, kidnap wife, 3 others. Court rules only Independent National Electoral Commission can decide method of collecting and transmitting results. Naira scarcity hits poultry farmers and egg sellers. On the foreign scene, first European Union humanitarian aid plane arrives in the Democratic Republic of Congo amid crisis. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. And we begin with security, where Karimbu Kahugu community in Lere local council of Kaduna State was on Friday thrown into mourning and confusion as suspected terrorists invaded the area. The gunmen killed the son of a Baptist church, a resident pastor in the community, kidnapped his wife and 3 others. The vice chairman, Kahugu National Development Associations, Peter Mukadas, who confirmed the incident, said the assailants invaded the village and went straight to the clergy's residence. The police public relations officer of the Kaduna State Command, Kaduna Police Command, Muhammad Jalige, could not be reached at the time of filing this report. Violent attacks and criminal activities were at their lowest ebb in the last few months leading up to the presidential and National Assembly elections. But the question many asked is whether frequency of violent attacks reduced drastically or because media attention shifted to the election and the attacks were underreported. However, a security expert attributes the reduction of attacks to the effect of the Naira redesign policy and focus on the 2023 general elections. The report.
There has been a decline in the rate of criminal activities such as kidnapping, murder, burglary, fraud, terrorism, insurgency and secessionist violence in the country as political activities are given more priority and the cash crunch brought by the Naira redesign policy, according to residents, making it difficult for easy operations of criminal elements. Experts say that the aim of the policy regarding crime reduction is being achieved despite experiences of cash crunch on the people. A sustenance of the policy and INEC's conduct at subsequent polls will guarantee more peace and stability.
I'm sure in the past 2 months or so, you hardly can hear of kidnap except political kidnap. You know, there are different types of kidnap. You know, the people who go for economic reasons to get money and the people who go to kidnap their political opponents. So those ones are targeted. But for the regular economic kidnap is on the decline.
I can remember vividly some areas we are having constant robbery before the policy. But now, I think it's, since the introduction of the CBN policy, there is this reduction. It has drastically declined.
It has reduced to some extent. The way they usually demand for ransom is not as reduced because where is the money? The money is no longer in circulation. And even if you have to pay this ransom, you understand, it will be through the banks and it can easily be traced.
On sufficient reporting of these incidents, experts says the media does its part, but focus and expectation is more on political activities.
Mostly what we are talking about now, political activities. You wake up in the morning, is election, election, election. Everybody talking about election, manipulation of the processes and all what have you. So that's what is trending. So, but that is not to say that when there are criminal activities, they shouldn't be reported to.
Mike Ejiofor says for peace to continue to reign in the country, the Naira redesign policy must be maintained and transparency in the conduct of the state elections must be more credible to avert any uprising.
The peace and stability in this country after the election lies in the hand of INEC. So they must be serious. They must take this very serious to ensure. Nobody is interested on who wins the election. But if the process is fair, credible, transparent, people will not worry.
He said security stability is a collective responsibility of everyone that must be given priority, especially by security agencies and government at all levels. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
No more fatalities were recorded after the initial tally of 6 from the Lagos BRT and train accident. Over 100 victims have also been stabilized as 32 injured have been discharged at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Professor Adetokunbo Fabamwo, gave the update on Friday. The report.
Calmness is gradually returning to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Ikeja, where most of the victims of Thursday's accident are receiving treatment. Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, at a news conference on Friday said 32 survivors of the train and bus accident have been discharged from different hospitals in the state. He said that 19 survivors were discharged from the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUD, 5 from Toll Gate Trauma Center and 8 from Orile Agege General Hospital. The commissioner added that the accident recorded 102 casualties, including 6 fatalities. Commending blood donor, Professor Abayomi said all the victims with varying degrees of life-threatening injuries were admitted and treated at LASUD.
Yesterday, as of early this morning, we were able to transfuse 40 units of blood to the victims to stabilize them, those that required blood because they're either going in for surgery or they were bleeding into their brain or their chest or their abdomen, were able to save their lives with rapid access and availability of safe blood. Thank you very much to all citizens of Lagos State who responded in a very unusual way. Yesterday we were able to collect 256 voluntary units of blood from sympathizers and well-wishers, and we're really very grateful to the public for responding in this way. In case we have more access or more need for blood, you can see that on top of the blood we have in our blood bank, we're able to replenish our stores with a very generous response from the community.
Senator Oluremi Tinubu, the wife of President-elect Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, alongside the First Lady of Lagos State, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, were also at LASUD to check the condition of the victims from the accident. Senator Tinubu described the accident as an unfortunate incident while calling for caution on the part of the drivers to avoid accidents.
I just hope that the drivers are more careful in the future. And because they can see what has happened now, lives have been lost. So we, commiserate with the family that lost some loved ones. And those who are here, we wish them speedy recovery.
Chief Medical Director of LASUD, Professor Adetokunbo Fabamwo, stated that the hospital has not recorded any more fatalities after the 6 internally recorded. He added that through the trigger, LASUD was able to stabilize over 100 patients while referring the less safe patients to other hospitals around the state.
To seize the opportunity to say that we triaged in compliance with international best practice. When you have huge numbers of casualties, there is no way that you can have vacant or empty emergency bed spaces to put them. So the whole idea is to put them in an open space so that you can clearly see the injuries that they have. Health workers who are numbering over 100 will be able to move around freely to be able to ascertain the kind of injuries they were dealing with. Relative
of one of the accident victims, Raman Bakare, commended the effort of the staff of LASUD as well as the Lagos State government for the swift response.
The status right now is that he's very conscious and is discussing with us like a brother. We can see that he's very conscious and we thank God for that. But before now, he was struggling with the consciousness. We could not really speak with him very well. But as of now, he's conscious, though he still has a fracture in his leg and he has some issues with his pelvis, and then he has some issues with his chest.
Lagos State, the commercial hub of Nigeria, was thrown into a panic mood on Thursday when a Lagos State government staff bus convening civil servants from Isola to Alausa had a head-on collision with a train at PWD bus stop along Agege Motor Road.
Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court Abuja on Friday held that only the Independent National Electoral Commission is empowered by law to determine the mode of collating and transmitting election results. In a judgment, Justice Nwite stated that only INEC has the prerogative to direct how the polling unit presiding officer should transfer election results, including the total number of accredited persons and results of the ballots. Justice Nwite further held that the collating and transferring of election results manually in the 2023 general elections cannot be said to be contrary to the relevant provisions of the Electoral Act 2022. The judgment was on a suit filed by the Labour Party with INEC as the sole defendant. The party had prayed the court to declare that INEC has no power to opt for the manual method other than the electronic method provided for by the relevant provisions of the Electoral Act 2022. It urged the court to issue an order directing INEC to comply with the Electoral Act 2022 on the electronic transmitting of results in the general election. In the judgment delivered on January 23, 2023, Justice Nwite held that the plaintiff misconstrued the provisions of the law and proceeded to dismiss the suit. Moving to politics, the People's Democratic Party in Kaduna State has accused the ruling All Progressives Congress of using state apparatus to intimidate its members ahead of the governorship election. The state PDP chairman, Hassan Hiet, who made the allegation at a media conference in Kaduna, described the move as undemocratic and dictatorial. The report.
The party alleged that the ruling party in the state wants to retain power by intimidating PDP members in Kaduna State.
We draw the attention of Nigerians and the international community to these undemocratic acts of harassment against PDP members in our state. We ask for either the immediate release of those arrested or charged to a competent court so that the needed legal process can start. Doing otherwise would amount to an infringement of their fundamental human rights and a clear misuse of state power.
The party alleged that vote buying could be used in the forthcoming governorship election to influence voters, calling on the authorities to take the necessary actions. The PDP chairman also called on the security agencies to investigate APC for vote buying.
It's about vote buying, whether in cash or in kind. The whole thing is the same, and it is against the law. And that's why we are asking EFCC that is saddled with that responsibility to take the necessary actions, because they cannot claim ignorance of what is going on. And since we have not seen any action being taken, we are drawing their attention so that tomorrow they will not say that they don't know. We have now told them.
The chairman of the APC in Kaduna State, Emmanuel Jakada, and Secretary Yahaya Baba Party could not be reached for comment on the allegations by the opposition party in the state. Bella Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Mixed reactions continue to trail the postponement of the governorship and state assembly elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission to Saturday, March 18. INEC said the move is to enable it to reconfigure the bimodal voter accreditation systems for the elections. Ado Musa speaks to voters in Jos on the development.
Residents of Plateau State also joined other Nigerians to express their views on the postponement of the governorship and state assembly elections. While some are of the view that the postponement of the election was within the powers of INEC and the commission is right, others expressed dissatisfaction, believing that INEC should have reconfigured the Vivas well ahead of time.
The postponement of the election is a shock to some of us, because people are already they're ready to vote. But to our surprise, just a short time they said it's postponed, which is not appropriate.
Based on the issue at hand, INEC mentions that there was a litigations by both parties, APC, PDP, and Labour Party, in regard to the issue of Vivas. And then it was I think on Wednesday that the INEC were able to get a judgment from Court of Appeal of which they were allowed to configure the viewers for the next election.
We are not happy for this postponement because a lot of people, they are expecting this election, and everything and our activities is stopped because we are just waiting to cast our vote, but we are just here. INEC was postponed the elections.
The residents hope that the electoral empire will do the needful to ensure that the exercise is free and fair.
Our hope, we need INEC to do free and fair elections because we don't want to hear something different from us. We are putting hope. So please, INEC should make sure that they are doing free and fair elections.
Due to the enthusiasm of INEC and the hope Nigerians are having that the election is going to be free and fair, and then with the hope that those that were elected and then they were going to be given their mandate.
We hope that the needful will be done, because let it not repeat himself. If the thing repeat himself, to me, is a very bad one.
The electorates hope that there will be no further extension after March 18. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. Factors behind reckless driving. Stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Here's a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that terrorists invade Kaduna community, kill pastor's son, kidnap wife, 3 others. We also told you that court rules only independent National Electoral Commission can decide method of collecting and transmitting results. Moving on to more stories, poultry farmers and egg sellers are feeling the heat of the naira scarcity as the cashless policy affects businesses and means of livelihood. Noel Sampson reports that egg sellers in Abuja are recording losses due to the cash crunch.
Chicken and egg production is a lucrative business until recently when the economy is hit by naira scarcity. Poultry farmers say cash unavailability in the country is telling on them now, especially those into egg production.
The cash unavailability has made business a little bit tough. We have to pay for labor, we have to pay our salaries, we have to pay our workers. Then people, because there's no cash, we have eggs on stock right now that we cannot even sell. We have over 100 crates of eggs on ground that has not been. It's not been moving. Business is making business very, very slow.
In the purchase of materials, mostly the chicken feed and a lot of other things, it has affected immensely in the sense that you have to make sure that you can make transfers, especially since the cash crunch also coincided with a very low network where you can't even make transfers. Sometimes we go to buy things, we are there for minutes without end trying to pay them. It's not like we don't have the means to pay them. It's just the whole system is a bit messy right now.
They call on the federal government to set machinery in motion to normalize the situation for businesses to survive and thrive.
Like to buy feeds now, we have to transfer. Sometimes to make transfers because of the bad network, you have to wait there for like days before you get your feed. We have to actually. So there was a day I went to buy feed. I had to beg them to just give me 2 so I can bring it back here. So when they eventually get the transfer, I can get the remaining ones. Normally, we just have paid cash, get all my feed, and everything will be fine. It just makes things more stressful. Transporting the feeds here, everything is just more stressful.
We really hope that the new judgments from the Supreme Court will be followed by CBN, and hopefully we'll start seeing things moving quicker. It will help our business a lot.
About 21 billion eggs are produced in Nigeria annually through poultry farming, making it the largest production of chicken eggs in Africa. But due to the cash crunch we have in the country, you can see the number of eggs we have here. We have estimately over 100 crates of eggs available here. From Tabai Farms in Abuja, Noel Samson, Trust TV News.
Chairman of the National Population Commission, Nasir Kwara, has said commencement of the 2023 National Population and Housing Census, which was earlier slated for March 29, is likely to be affected by the postponement of the governorship and state assembly elections. Kwara said this while speaking at a meeting with the resident representative of the United Nations Population Fund in Abuja. The state elections, which were earlier scheduled to hold on March 11, have now been rescheduled for March 18 by the Independent National Electoral Commission. The chairman told reporters that he will consult with President Muhammadu Buhari for a suitable date for the national census. The resident representative of the United Nations Population Fund, Eula Mueller, pledged the support of UNFPA in ensuring the success of the exercise, while reiterating the significance of the exercise to the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. Mueller explained that the conduct of a post-enumeration survey will also give credibility to the census. Meanwhile, the National Population Commission says it will generate quality data that will meet international standards in the 2023 Population and Housing Census. Director, Public Affairs of the National Population Commission said this in an exclusive interview with Trust TV.
Nigeria is set to conduct a national population census. But unlike previous headcounts, the 2023 edition is expected to be digital, without the use of papers.
As you know, this census is going to be digital. We have received the personal digital assistant that we're going to use for the exercise. And right now, those personal digital assistants, which will be used to collect information on the field, they are being configured in such a way that will make the census process very, very smooth, transparent, and error-free.
But do Nigerians think this can be achieved?
INEC emphasized and gave us full assurance that there's going to be electronic upload of the results. You and I know how it ended or how it's panning out. So for now, I cannot say they will succeed 100% because of that experience. But it's another thing to their advantage to improve on their own technology.
No, they can't deliver, because I know before, when they are doing census, they used to go to houses from one room to another, counting how many children, how many men, how many women, how many, in fact, everybody are counting. But going digital without counting one by one, they won't know how many we are in Nigeria.
Yes, it can work if they will be faithful to what they have said. Because in the last election, the INEC chairman have given us assurance that beavers will work. But at the end of the election, we know what happens, and the outcome is being contested in the court of law. If they will do what they say according to their promise, it will be more better. Then we will know the actual number we have in Nigeria.
And what lesson should MPC learn from INEC?
I've had complaints or issues or concerns raised that INEC adopted technology and perhaps maybe it didn't achieve the intended purpose or as much as they thought. Well, and MPC will also do it whether we're going to have the same result. First, we must get it clear at this level, we cannot run away from technology. Of course, we must also recognize the fact that technology also has its own problem. But the type of technology that will be adopted by MPC, you know, I can speak for that. I don't know the details of the beavers.
used by INEC, but I know that our own processes, we have tested it over time, and we're sure that it's going to work.
The Commission, however, urged Nigerians to assist the MPs achieve this feat by rendering help to the census staff and give accurate data while making themselves available for the head count. Martia Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
On the foreign scene, fighting erupted on Friday between M23 militiamen and government troops near the eastern DR Congo city of Goma, where a European Mercy flight arrived in the afternoon. The aid mission is the first in an airlift announced last Saturday by the European Union to help the beleaguered city. The plane landed on Friday afternoon carrying 35 metric tons of material, including tents, mattresses, and medical equipment. EU Ambassador to the Democratic Republic of Congo, Jean-Marc Chategna, told reporters that another plane would land next week with others to follow. The city of over 1 million people is increasingly threatened by M23 rebels who have captured swaths of North Kivu province since re-emerging for dormancy in late 2021. And finally, in sports, Flying Eagles winger Jude Sunday was named man of the match following the team's victory against Tunisia on Friday night. Sunday bagged a brace as the Flying Eagles trashed the Tunisians 4-0 to clinch third position in the competition. The 19-year-old was handed his first start of the competition against the North Africans, and he responded with a brilliant display. Sunday dribbled past 3 defenders to score the Flying Eagles' third goal on 49 minutes. He then scored the fourth with a rasping shot from the inside box a minute from time. Ibrahim Mohammed and Ahmed Abdullahi were also on target for Ladan Bosso's side in the game. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.